When you think about event planning, textures and surfaces are probably not something that's going to be at the top of your list. But the truth is, interior designer is one of those many hats that you have to wear as an event planner. And for that, Pinterest is your best friend. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about how your choices in textures and surfaces can influence how people are perceiving your experience. I guess we're calling this episode 2 of Advanced Event Planning. Hey, welcome back to the Experience Lab. I'm Joanna, your experience navigator, and on this channel, I share experiential tips for everyday brands. So when I say Pinterest is your best friend, I really mean it. You should really be taking the time to think about what you want your event to look and feel like. And one of your best resources for that is a Pinterest board. Whether you want your space to feel industrial, farmhouse, boho, eclectic, luxury, or any mixture of those things, Pinterest is the answer. You want to type in one of those keywords and then scroll through and see how they're using their textures, surfaces, and materials to make that come to life. For example, the farmhouse vibe is going to give you a lot of mason jars, distressed wood, and things that are a little bit shabby chic. But if you're looking for industrial, you might get a lot of metals and concretes and things that are a little bit more harsh in nature. What I really want you to think about is how the textures and surfaces that they're using within these different categories are reflecting light or absorbing light and the mood that it gives the space. Like how you can make a space feel more light and airy if you're using Scandinavian furniture or mid-century modern because they're lifted off the ground and your eye can go underneath. And like I mentioned, pay attention to how those surfaces are interacting with light. I'm going to do a whole other video on lighting design, but basically if you have reflective surfaces, you might want to tone down on the harsh lighting so that people don't have to work so hard to see everything. And on the other hand, if you have a lot of heavy surfaces, heavy fabrics, and things that absorb a lot of light, you definitely want to make sure that your lighting choices are complementary and that they're really bright so that people don't feel like they're stumbling around in the dark. Another way to wrap your head around this idea of textures and surfaces and how they impact the way your space looks and feels is to think about when you get dressed to go out. We all know that some outfits and fabrics just don't feel right for the occasion. So similarly, your decor choices are kind of like dressing up the space. Think about how you want it to look and feel for the occasion. Now, you may not be able to try it on ahead of time the way you would if you were just rummaging through your closet, but herein lies the power of a Pinterest board or a mood board in general. This way you can see how everything is working together and determine whether or not it's conveying the vibe that you're going for. So pull in images of the venue and put it together with your furniture choices, your glassware, and any other decor choices you have, including your florals and things like that, so that you can just get a picture of what things are going to look like. Nailing down your decor choices is pretty much just as important as this almighty floor plan that I keep referencing. And the reason is because aside from your layout telling people where to go, your decor kind of tells people how to act, how classy your event is, or how cool your brand is. But really, just like everything else, you should be making sure that all of your choices are intentional and that they pull together to tell this overall story and convey this overall experience. If you missed my last video, which is the first one in this advanced event planning series, I strongly recommend that you go check that out. It kind of gives you an overarching view of how to put together the best experience for your guests and why all of these tiny choices make a big difference. People can tell when they're walking into a space and it feels disjointed, and it may impact how they're resonating with your brand. So even if you don't have a lot of money to spend and you can't splurge on some expensive items or thousands of dollars worth of furniture, you definitely want to make sure that you're at least thinking about these choices. And that could be the difference between a regular folding chair and a folding chair that has padding in the seat. Now, just like your textures and surfaces have a really big impact on your overall experience, your colors that you use also do. And that's what I'm going to touch on in next week's video. So make sure that you subscribe so that you can follow along with this advanced event planning series. If you're looking for videos on the basics like budgeting, floor plans, timelines, and things like that, I have a playlist with all those videos in there, so make sure that you click through and check it out. Until next time, I'm Joanna, this is the Experience Lab, and I'll catch you in the next one.